Hello. When it comes to property, getting a bargain can sometimes be tough, especially in this competitive market, but it can still be done.
Yes, you need patience, you need to dig deep and do your research, and you can still come up trumps.
Yes, but where do you start, I hear you ask? I would recommend your local property auction. It doesn't matter what your budget is, you never want to overpay for property.
Too true. But what about today's buyers? Did they get a good deal?
Let's find out.
I'm down in Dover to see a period house with an unusual installation.
Yeah, well, I like the fact there's kind of like some modern art kind of feature going across the floor.
Now, it's not art, but Lucy knows what she likes at this flat in South London.
Dun, dun, dun. Look at that.
While in Wolverhampton, this semi-detached house might have to open up a bit so I can really get to know it. We've got a door that's locked, which just intrigues me. All these properties have been sold at auction, and we'll find out who bought them and what they paid when they went under the hammer.
You're done.
Dover in Kent is, of course, known for its port, castle and white cliffs. But it's also the birthplace of award-winning R&B singer-songwriter Joss Stone.
Tell me what we're gonna do now.
Well, seeing as you asked, Joss, we're off to see a rather charming property, which is only 15 minutes stroll from the coast.
Well, right by the side of this rather splendid church is the property I'm here to see. Guide price £85,000 to £90,000, which doesn't sound like a lot for this particular property. It's a 3-bed semi-detached. Let's have a look.
That guide price does seem a bit on the cheap side. I hope I'm not being led up the garden path here.
So what have we got? Oh, well, straight away, looks like it's needed a little bit of updating. Very old paintwork, and look at this amazing wallpaper. Yeah, that sort of dates the property very much. But, you know, the good news is it looks like some of the original features are still here, and that's one of the things we absolutely love. Look at those doors. Look at that fireplace. Just strip those back. They're there, just waiting for you to sort it out. Little things like this panelling around the window. Absolutely gorgeous if that's just stripped back. But, oh, dear. That isn't so nice. Maybe that could explain that relatively low guide price. As you can see, the floor in this corner of the room here looks like it's sunk. It's even pulled away. The skirting there, it needs to be investigated. Let's carry on. Well, when they're not bouncing all over the place, the floorboards are actually really lovely. Nice and wide, so definitely strip these back. Absolutely beautiful, they would be. You've got a really quite interesting layout, because you come through the front door there, right to the bouncy floored room, then left into this similar room over this side, very dated fireplaces. But it's all a bit sort of small, especially when you come through here into this, which I guess is, I don't know, maybe some additional bit of room that was built on at some point over the house's history. I'm wondering if it might be possible to take out this wall, perhaps. It depends what's above it, to create a slightly bigger room. I mean, you could even go one step further and try and make the whole of this back part of the house open plan by taking out this wall. Yeah, I know, it's a bit silly, isn't it, taking out all the walls? But I don't know, that open feel would be really lovely, because the kitchen itself, it's through this little narrow doorway, it's sort of bolted on the back here. It doesn't quite work. So create that one really big room, and suddenly a small house feels like a really big house.
Upstairs, the layout is just as wonky. For me, the bathroom is far too big, and you have this small room for a bedroom, so I'd think about moving those around. However, this house doesn't just have issues with what's up top, it's also got something hiding down below, so... I'm going deeper underground.
So let's see if we can find out what's going on with those floorboards? Well, a bit of a surprise down here, a cellar, but actually what a nice space. I mean, clearly it's in a mess at the moment, but this could be quite spectacular. Really bizarre feature here. This is the mains water pipe. Yeah, well, I like the fact there's kind of like some modern art kind of feature going across the floor. Clearly that would need to be sorted out before you did anything. But there's some really nice touches. How about this? Big old fireplace there. But that's not why I'm down here. I'm here to see what is going on with the floor, and look at these joists. They do not look to be in very good condition. They don't look to be in very good condition at all. That is really bad signs of woodworm. Nice. OK, so that's not very good. But that's worse. This is the wall directly underneath where the floor that I was bouncing on is, and that, in case you don't know, is dry rot. Not good at all. It's working its way through the plaster, it's going into the wood, it's actually destroying the house, and that needs to be sorted out really quickly before it does any more damage.
It's not the end of the world, though, as it can be treated with the fungicide once the source of the moisture is dealt with. It's dry today, so it's not that obvious to see where the water is coming from, but it is a bit chilly, and we have asked along a local estate agent to brave the cold to have a look around this house and give us their thoughts.
My first impressions of this property, I think it's got a lot of character. It's really impressive. They rarely come available in this street. Obviously, it does need a lot of work to get it back into living condition, but there is a lot of potential here.
The words rarely available suggest that though there is a lot of work to do here, it could be well worth tackling. So how much could it sell for?
Once this property is completed, I estimate it to be worth around £180,000 to £190,000 on the open market.
Well, charming is a word that's slightly overused when it comes to properties, so I don't use it very often. However, in the case of this place, I think it's definitely warranted. This really is a lovely little place with potential to add value, yeah, and create a lovely home. Let's see who bought it when it went under the hammer.
I'm going to say the guide price is 85 to 90. What's that seem to do about it? Let's see anyway. Can I see £85,000 for it in Dover at £85,000? 85 bid I have, and 87 now do I see. 87, and 90, and 2, 92, 95, 97, 100, and 2, and 5, and 7.
Well, as the auctioneer thought, this lot was soon roaring past the guide price and proved popular with a few bidders, so we rejoined the action at £130,000.
At £130,000 I've got, is that 130, 131, 132, 133, at 133 sitting right at the back for the first time, 134, 135 it's against you now, 135 if you wish, 135 and 6, 136. Said that last time if you remember, 136. 135 then in the back row for the first time, 135 for the second, third and final time if you're all done at 135. Yours right at the back.
The successful bidder paying £135,000 was Dean. He came along to the house with his dad, Frankie.
Hey, Frankie.
I couldn't wait to hear what they had in store for this lovely property.
Frankie, Dean, great to meet you both.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
Congratulations. Was it one of those ones that you walk into the house and just straight away go, oh, I like this?
I liked it, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks old, it's not history. Couldn't see any visible problems with cracks or anything like that on the first walk around the building.
But since then, you've discovered a few other things, have you?
Lots of little problems, yeah.
Small problems. Yeah.
Since the viewing, it's been raining now, so we found lots of puddles congregating upstairs in the loft.
Right, and the subsidence bit?
I think it's basically just the beams. It's not actually subsidence of the building, it's just problems with the beams.
Right, and have you had somebody check that out?
We've checked it out so
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
Well, there's a good synopsis there. Frankie, what's your involvement in the whole thing?
I've been helping Dean since I retired 13 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And didn't want my bones to seize up. So Dean says, would you like to be my skivvy? I said, yeah, why not? Yeah.
So definitely drafting in Dad's help then.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And he picks my pocket.
Well, that sounds like a perfect relationship. And what do you think of the house?
I loved it, and I encouraged him. When we first came here, I said, Dean, this is a house to go for.
So then, you got it now. What are you going to do to it? Tell me the process from this point on.
Well, ground floor, this wall here, it's going to be taken back.
Oh, wow, big wall to take out.
Big wall to take out, but it doesn't look it's majorly supported above. There's nothing above it, so. But I will be getting that all checked out prior. So, so hopefully to extend the lounge a lot better.
That'd be nice.
French windows out there to look to the garden. In the kitchen, there's like an outdoor toilet.
Yeah.
That wall is going to be taken backwards
Wow.
to extend the kitchen. Maybe just have a little basin and bathroom downstairs.
Upstairs, they're going to rejig the layout by swapping the bathroom and box room around, so the house will have 3 double bedrooms. The basement room will be converted into a games room once, of course, all that dry rot has been dealt with.
And is the idea with all of this to sell it on once you've done it, or to rent it out?
Undecided. Most likely to be rented, but a possibility to sell it on, maybe.
So who's going to get involved in doing the work? Is it going to be a joint thing?
No, Dean is the main builder.
Right.
Decorator. I'll be doing the gardening.
Okay.
And cracking the whip.
And cracking the whip. And the wife will be coming down occasionally and doing...
Cracking the whip over you. It's a big family project.
She loves doing work and things, so...
How nice. And what's your experience, Dean? Are you
Well, I used to be in computers. I used to be a network manager in London.
Okay.
Done it for 20-odd years.
Right.
Had enough of it. Got stressed, lost all my hair, and decided to make a bit of a change, and decided to do some building work, really.
When was that?
About 7, 8 years ago.
Right.
So I started working with local builders.
Right.
Just got some skills up. Now they're my good friends.
Any regrets about leaving the previous life?
Not at all. Not at all. Never look back.
Never look back. Well, no, but you're enjoying it, your own boss. and all that kind of stuff.
Healthier, your own boss, my own time schedule.
Yeah.
Risks, obviously, but I've got mum and dad to fall back on.
Fall back on. Well, that's brilliant.
Dean is right on that. Property development can mean risking your own money, or mum and dad's. Dean has a £15,000 to £20,000 budget, which isn't much given the work needing to be done here. But he will save money by doing the work himself and is aiming for a fairly relaxed 5 to 6 month timescale.
Now, location, obviously, it's quite charming.
Yes.
And right next to the church. Is that a real positive, do you think?
I noticed that secondary. I actually noticed the pub the other side. That was the first thing.
Yeah. Funny how they're often close, isn't it? Pub and churches are often very close to each other. Do you think that's a real bonus?
Yeah. The land behind there, the views. It's a beautiful building.
It's a nice location, really.
Yeah.
And it's the only semi in the whole street.
Yes.
The rest are all new builds,
Yeah.
terrace. So it has got character.
Sure.
Yeah.
So listen, congratulations, well done.
Thank you very
Lovely
much.
to meet you both. And
Thank you
look
very
forward
much.
to seeing how you get on.
Thank you very much.
Well, I think Dean has got himself a charming little property here, and hopefully with the help of Dad, Frankie, he will get it sorted. A good, realistic timescale, but possibly a bit tight on that budget, especially if that subsidence proves to be more of an issue than he thinks it will be. How will it all turn out? There's only one way to find out. Join us later in the show.
Lucy's in Wandsworth, a place very much shaped by its position on the river, with mills and breweries going up around the Thames. Today, these have been replaced by swanky riverside developments, with one-bedroom flats retailing at an eye-watering price of £600,000 plus. But move a few miles down the road and you get a different picture.
Now, unfortunately, you don't get a scenic river view from here, but what you do get is a 2-bedroom flat. It had a guide price of £300,000 plus, which compared to its riverside counterparts, well, sounds very reasonable.
What you get is what you see. Ain't nothing more to it.
Hey, who needs river views when you get twice the space for half the cost?
So, inside the property, it's painted quite a nice shade of grey. Don't mind the colour if I say so. Lovely high ceilings. We've got a bathroom through there, really nice sized bedroom, a second bedroom, and into the lounge. Now this flat, for a two-bedder, it's spacious. As I said, it's got the high ceilings. If you compare this to a new build, you would no way get as much space. I mean, the square footage here is fantastic. Bit of storage through here, and then you've got the kitchen, which faces out to the front. It's quite lively in this kitchen. Lime green. Not sure on that colour, so a little bit of decorating is in order, but a superb flat. So not too much work here. All in all, a really nice, spacious, two-bed flat, tick box.
With some good decoration and cosmetic changes, this flat really could be nice. But what could make it even better would be some modifications to the layout. This would make it compete with the more modern open-plan living on offer at the new build flats in the area.
Now, the only structural change I think I'd make with this flat would be to open up this doorway. It just feels a little bit pinched. It would make the kitchen feel so much larger and also be a lot more sociable for when you're entertaining. But don't forget, before you make any structural changes to a leasehold flat like this, you will need permission from the freeholder. Now, this will probably come at a cost which should be factored into your renovation budget. And don't forget, the freeholder can still withhold consent. The stipulations and covenants will be laid out in the terms of your lease. And if you're in any doubt at all, ask your solicitor to read through this for you, because it will be worth every penny.
Well, the good news on that lease is that it still has another 109 years to run, and it's owned by the local authority, which might mean you have more room for negotiations. They might even sell you the freehold for the right price, of course.
Am I right in saying that in most flats, there's never enough storage? The cupboards are always narrow and pokey. You know, you've got to get the vacuum cleaner in there. You've got to get the ironing board in there. Maybe you want to put your suitcase in there. It could also need to store some of the linen. You know what I'm saying? But in this flat, oh no. Dun, dun, dun. Look at that. I absolutely love that space, it's brilliant. Is it just me then?
Yeah, it could be, Lucy. Seems like you're just having a bit of a space oddity moment. Anyway, moving swiftly on, I want to have another look at that garden.
So back out the front of the flat, and I want to show you a couple of extra little perks this flat has. Firstly, those two car parking spaces, well, they come with it. Now, secondly, it also has this little front garden area here. So, no, it's not very private at the moment, can be a bit noisy, but you could think about putting up a hedge and a bit of a fence just to make it look prettier, and it's on the ground floor, so you've got direct access straight out of this door. So, all in all, I think it's a bit of a bonus.
If nothing else, it sets the property back from the road and certainly provides a nicer outlook from those much-needed double-glazed windows. With 2 bedrooms, this well-proportioned flat feels like it has the right stuff to make a good investment. But what does a local estate agent think?
I think there's some very smart people coming into the area now. They're young professionals and they know what they want, and they don't want to do DIY. So if you can present something that is not bland but neutral, that they can walk straight into, that's what they're looking for. Wooden floors are very popular. Smart kitchen.
But if it wasn't given that full renovation, could this flat that was guided at £300,000 plus be a good investment?
This property could sell for £475,000 in the right finish, with rentals as much as £1,600 a month.
Well, as far as auction properties go, this flat is clean, it's tidy, and it seems like it should be a fairly straightforward project for somebody. Fingers crossed. Who wanted to take it on? Let's head to auction and find out.
Lot 4 is a 2-bed ground floor flat, like Wandsworth, high value area. Invite your bids on this. Start at 310, 310, 315, sir. 320, 325, 330, 335.
After a slow start, the bidding was hotting up and we rejoined the bids for the flat, now at 370,000.
370, 371, 372, 372, 37 new spot, 373, 374, 375, 376, 375, first time, second time, third and last time. Have you all done? sold 375.
And what a battle, but the Hammer finally fell at £375,000. The successful bidder for the two-bedroom ground floor flat in Wandsworth was Farouk. This was Farouk's first investment property purchase. He was going to be helped by his son, Ibrahim, who recently graduated from university and was looking at property developing as a possible career option.
Give it a go, give it a go.
Guys, congratulations. You must be so pleased that you got this flat on auction day.
Yes, we are very pleased.
Now, this isn't your background because I know you've just graduated from uni.
Yeah, I just recently graduated from uni doing product design. We've always had a keen interest in properties, and it's also working with my dad as well.
Do you have any property knowledge yourself?
Well, I'm a retired chartered civil engineer with a few projects, worked on Terminal 5 construction for 4.5 years.
So buildings is something you know about?
That's correct.
So when you walk into somewhere like here, I mean, what can you tell me?
Well, I can see there's not much work to be done. It's simple, not as heavy as what I'm used to.
This is going to be a breeze for you, isn't it?
Yes, it looks like, if I get a good builder.
So, from working on the UK's largest airport, Farouk will now be overseeing work on this slightly smaller project. But what do they plan to do to lift this flat up and make it fly in the local property market?
Can you tell me exactly what you're going to be doing inside the flat, starting with the entrance?
I think with the entrance, we're just going to redo the whole flooring.
Yeah.
Hopefully do a bit of skimming to the walls, completely redoing the bathroom.
What about the green walls? You're going to get rid of that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So what about the kitchen? Any plans with that?
I think the kitchen, because it's the most used room in a flat, so basically we're looking to do it to a very high standard and make that as the most selling point for this property.
Are you going to make any radical changes to the property, or are you going to leave it pretty much as it is?
I think in terms of work, we're probably going to look to break the kitchen wall and make it more open plan living.
Okay.
And hopefully if it falls into our budget, add an ensuite.
So where are you planning on putting that ensuite?
The bedroom walls will be split, so 3/4 of it is going to go into the master bedroom and the other quarter end is going to be in the smaller bedroom.
But it's only going to be accessible from the master bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you will need permission from the freeholder to do that.
Yeah.
We will be submitting drawings to them for approval.
And hopefully you are improving the flat, so there should be no problem there.
No problems there.
Correct.
So what sort of budget have you guys got?
About 30,000.
So that's quite a healthy budget.
Plus 5,000 contingency.
Along with the £30,000 budget, they're hoping to turn it around in 3 months and then place it on the resale market.
So guys, tell me, are you spending a lot of evenings poring over the plans, discussing where to put things?
Yes.
It's quite a nice father and son venture, this, isn't it?
Yes, he does it all on the computer. So he's got this special program where you can fix the furniture and all that.
It's a lot of convincing and talking and seeing what's the best option.
When you say convincing, are you telling your dad what you think should happen?
Yeah, and it's up to him if he wants to listen as well, so...
So who's got the ultimate say here?
I think my dad does. So.
You've got the ultimate say, but your son's really good because he's giving a very different eye.
And my wife as well.
Yeah.
She's more or less mostly for the front garden.
Are you two going to be doing any of the work yourselves?
I'm looking to hopefully learn as much as I can from the current builders that we'll be using, but I'll try and do the stud walling for the ensuite myself. So I'll take on as much as I can.
And wood flooring, maybe he'll start doing one of the bedrooms to get the feel of it.
Surely you can do things like that, can't you? You can turn your hand to that. And you'll be able to show your son, so you will be able to learn from the master.
Exactly. Yeah.
Guys, I'm really excited to see the outcome of this flat. Congratulations.
Thank
well
you
done.
very much.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's the first project for this father and son team, so I'm sure there's going to be lessons for them to learn along the way. But most importantly, will there be a decent profit at the end of all their hard work? Join me later on in the programme and you can find out how they get on.
Still to come, we make it 3 father and son teams in one show. Now that's a tall order.
Yeah, you've already...
He's already taller than you, isn't he?
Yeah.
Back in Wandsworth, we find out if Farouk and Ibrahim's father-son bond has held strong.
We're definitely going to keep in touch, basically.
We're heading back to the coastal port town of Dover now to see a charming property that had period features that put a real bounce in my step.
But oh dear. That isn't so nice. As you can see, the floor in this corner of the room here looks like it's sunk. It's even pulled away. The skirting there, it needs to be investigated.
And investigate I did, down below.
Look at these joists. They do not look to be in very good condition. They don't look to be in very good condition at all. That is really bad signs of woodworm.
That chomping woodworm and a myriad of other issues didn't put off former network administrator turned builder Dean from paying £135,000 for this at auction. He and his dad Frankie couldn't wait to sink their teeth into this project. Although they had viewed the property before the auction, some of the issues didn't come to light until after they'd bought it.
Since the viewing, it's been raining now, so we found lots of puddles congregating upstairs in the loft.
Right, and the subsidence bit?
I think it's basically just the beams. It's not actually subsidence of the building, it's just problems with the beams.
Right, and have you had somebody check that out?
We've checked it out so far. Yeah.
Between changing the layout upstairs and down, as well as dealing with the rot and damp, they've had a lot on their hands. So I am not surprised we are back a month later than their 6-month timescale. But Dean and Frankie haven't disappointed. Saying goodbye to that partition wall and adding the French doors has made the whole downstairs flow so much better. They've extended the kitchen out, making room for the downstairs loo. And it's a case of trading places upstairs. For the large bathroom and small bedroom have switched around. Although it's fresh and modern, some original features remain, which is nice to see. Down in the basement, the rot, damp and woodworm has all been taken care of. It's not quite finished, but the plan is for it to be a games room. The house looks great, though, and it must have taken some real hard graft from Dean and Frankie to turn this around.
Actually, the whole thing was a bit of a slog, actually, because it is such an old house. All hidden things which, until you started demoing the place, you start finding all of these things. But ultimately, it wasn't too much. It was a nice project to do. It's nice to try and find a place which has some of the character and the old things that you want to keep in there, not just rip it all out and plaster over it.
It's not always easy to preserve original features like in this case where everything has to be stripped right back. But thankfully Dean has saved some of the house's original character. But it's not just Dean who has been getting his hands dirty. Dad Frankie has done a brilliant job of this garden. Not bad for someone who is a self-proclaimed skivvy.
Yes, I was a skivvy, getting the paint, gopher, they called me, go for that and go for this. And so, yeah, I did most of the buying the stuff. And I virtually did most of the logistics, the pricing of the job and this and all that. So, yeah, that was my function. He did all the heavy lifting and shifting.
Well, now most of the work is over, they must be very proud.
Yeah, stressful, yeah, but glad to see the end product, from what it was to what it is. My daughter from London came down, she gave a hand. My wife did all the neat painting and all that, so it was a family affair.
Oh, no, you don't, Frankie. You're not trying to get us to Sly and the Family Stone. Well, I'm sick of hearing that song. Besides, I am sure we have something much more original lined up. Oh, well, maybe not, but it works. Let's find out if Dean and Frankie have managed to stay within their £15,000 to £20,000 budget.
We're slap bang in the middle of that, as it is now. 17 and a half, just under 17 and a half. Still got a few more bits to purchase. But I think we're 17 and a half is probably...
17 and a half, just over that, yeah. It's really come within our budget, really.
So that's a total spend so far of £152,500. Have they made up their minds if it's for sale or rent?
Definitely sell.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have got a London investor interested in the place. He's approached us, he's given us a price, so we might go for him. We don't know, see what the situation is.
Well, let's see if asking the opinion of two local estate agents will help make up Dean and Frankie's mind. First, the agent who saw it last time.
I think the changes to the layout downstairs are ideal. You've got a nice big-sized dining room, a good-sized lounge and the kitchen, and it just flows a lot better.
It's always good to keep period features because people like a central point in a house, so they have sympathetically kept the fireplaces, which gives it a bit of warmth.
So the agents are warming up to this property, but will the sales values hold a candle to the offers they have already received?
We'd market this property at £170,000.
I think this property will be worth £185,000 to £190,000.
That's what we had.
Well, as I said, we've got a London property thing, and he's offered us 190. So we might be going with him because he definitely wants it.
If they clinch that deal, that would be a pre-tax profit of $37,500. So this father and son team have definitely pulled this one off. Will Frankie be continuing his role as skivvy come go for?
Yeah, till I drop dead, yeah. No, well, I'm retired now, you know, and retirement is not as what it's cracked up to be, you know, just sit in the armchair and watch television. You need to be doing something. And yeah, it's good. Doing sort of, we get on well anyway, so it's no problem. I don't do a whole day's work, I do as much as I can. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
The city of Wolverhampton in the West Midlands is twinned with 3 cities around the world. Subotica in Serbia, Klagenfurt in Austria, Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia, which really isn't relevant to the property I'm here to see, but some smart Alec back in the office thought it would be funny to make me pronounce those 3 names. Well, the joke's on them, because I nailed it first time. Anyway, back to the job in hand. So 3 miles away from the centre of Wolverhampton, in this not-so-quiet cul-de-sac, is the property that I'm here to see. Now, normally, parking is a bit of a nightmare, but, as you can see behind me, there is off-street parking in this ex-local authority house that's got 3 bedrooms and a guide price of £60,000 plus. Let's get inside.
Shall we go inside? Go inside and look around.
Right, what have we got? We're in straight into the hallway, straight off the front garden into the quite a decent-sized hallway. Stairs going up to the bedrooms with some really strange old-fashioned carpet on. In here, we've got a door that's locked, which just intrigues me. I need to know what's on the other side of that door. Radiator here, so they've got central heating, lots of space underneath the stairs there for storage, and textured wallpaper everywhere. Downstairs toilet, which is good. In here, we've got just a bit of storage and the back door going out to the garden. Follow me in here to the kitchen. Here, we've got what I would consider a good size family kitchen. Yes, it's not in great condition. All these units would need to be changed, flooring, everything would have to be done from new here. But a good sized kitchen all the same. And we go through here into the living lounge area. Again, it's not huge. It's a decent enough size to get your sofas in and your television. Again, very 70s, 80s style. From what I've seen so far, this place just needs to be stripped back to the bare brick. Get some nice paint on there, get some new floors in, brand new kitchen. Just tidy this place up. And of course, it turned out that so-called mystery door leads to here. The only surprise about what's behind this door is the wallpaper. That's not working for me. I'd keep the other door and plasterboard this one with a nice finish. Upstairs, I've found some features that rekindle my enthusiasm for this property. That is a good size first bedroom. To my right, you've got the family bathroom. It's not the biggest, and you would have to put a brand new suite in there. And just round the corner, you've got the other 2 bedrooms, which are all good sizes. I'd be inclined to try and keep hold of those very pretty fireplaces in some way, shape or form. But like most ex-local authority houses, this place has been built well, it's got good sized rooms and the configuration is spot on. I like it. Nothing new then, another overgrown back garden, but it is some size. I think just a bit of TLC out here, a bit of hard work, and this would be as good as the neighbours. I also wanted to have a look back at the property just to see if there's anything wrong with the tiles, the roof, anything like that. All I've spotted is a little bit of rendering that needs to be either patched up or you could restart it and do it again. Also, is there enough scope to bring the house just a little bit further out? You've got a big back garden. You wouldn't lose a lot of that, but you'd gain a lot of space inside if an extension was an option. That's all down to budget. It's all down to what you want to do with the property in the end, but it's just an option. To weigh up the options, we've invited along an estate agent from the auction house who sold it for his thoughts on this ex-local authority semi.
The property itself could stand an extension on the back. The garden's big enough to take it, so you're not going to lose any, you know, of the usability of it by doing that. Having said that, the property is of quite a reasonable size as is, and I think that in doing that, you might very well price it out of the local area pricing for it.
So there's a risk of overdeveloping if you're not going to live in it. What kind of sales figures could we be looking at, though?
Once the property's been renovated, depending on what standard they've done it to, obviously, I would imagine that you'd achieve in the region of £115,000 to £120,000.
Now, this place does need a bit of work doing to it, but it's got a bit of space on the outside, bit of space on the inside. It's a classic Homes Under the Hammer, ex-local authority property, and I like it. Let's see who else liked it when it went under the hammer.
And lot 32, which is a very vacant freehold semi-detached property standing back from the road. Wolverhampton, lot 32. Ladies and gentlemen, how much for this one? 60? 60, go on. 60, sir. Thank you. Number 950 at 60,000. Can I have 5 anywhere? Well, 62 then. 62, a lady's bid. 64, sir. 64, 66, madam. 66 bid, 68, sir. 70, madam. 70 bid, 72, sir. 72 bid, 74, madam. 74 bid, 76, 78, 78. Ladies bid standing. 79, 1,000. 80 now. 80, 81, sir. Are you sure, sir? I'm disappointed in you. At £80,000, it's a lady's bid going for 80,000. I'll take £1,000 anywhere. £81,000, a fresh bidder, 81. Madam, come back in at 82. Fresh bidder jumping in right at the end at 81,000. Can I see your paddle number, sir? At 81 for the first time. Second time at 81. Third and the very last time. It is yours, sir.
The successful bidder was Ismat, who paid 81 grand for this house. I met him and his son Mohsen back at the house to find out their plans. Ismat, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about this place. Why did you like it? Why did you buy it?
Well, the reason I bought this house is right next door to mine, so not very far from my house, so I can check it from my window.
Convenience then, is it?
Yeah.
So tell me, you know, how this came together. Whose idea was it to look at houses?
It's mine, to be honest, because I do plumbing and heating, bathrooms and kitchens, and mostly property maintenance. And sometimes it's just a job creation for myself as well. I just want to get involved and do this in future.
Did you read the legal pack?
No.
Did you view the property?
No.
So you just bought this blind?
Just bought it blind.
Really?
Yeah.
I could really tell you off here, but we're on TV, so I better not.
Definitely, yeah.
You've got to have a word with him, Mohsen.
Yeah, well...
You're not allowed to do that anymore.
Nah, you should read the legal pack.
There you go, you see that?
Don't raise your hand.
So you got lucky? He's a lucky man, honestly, isn't he? Isn't he just?
Yeah.
So tell me what you're going to do in the house. You're going to be hands-on? You're going to get people to work for you?
Well, apart from plastering and... well, painting, I don't like painting myself. So apart from plastering and painting and rendering outside, everything else is going to be done by myself.
So Mohsen, your dad's going to be doing the plumbing and all the other hands-on work. What's your job? What are you going to do?
Maybe in my free time, I'll be coming out around and just asking my dad what shall I do. And maybe probably I'll be doing some painting some decorating, maybe even some designing.
Really?
Yeah.
He wants to be my boss.
Yeah, well,
I should be.
you know what I mean? In time, be careful, look over your shoulder.
No. He's already...
He's already taller than you, isn't he?
Yeah.
Something else Ismat hopes will grow is the value of the house. Ideally, he'd like to sell it on for a profit, but as he lives so close by, he's happy to keep it as a rental property as a long-term investment. Either way, he'll need to get his hands dirty and turn this place around. So what are the plans for the house?
Well, the plan for... Let me give it a good touch. New bathroom, new kitchen, and I'll do something at downstairs toilet. Possibly put a shower tray there. I can fit a 700 by 700 shower tray, then at least they have the person who actually rented or buy it, possibly have a shower downstairs and have a bath and shower upstairs as well, because over the bath I'm gonna put a shower and mix a shower, because well, end of the day I'm qualified plumber, so I can do them.
You can do all that stuff on your own, can't you?
Otherwise it would cost a lot.
So you're keeping the downstairs toilet and you're adding a shower, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and upstairs, what are your plans?
Upstairs, exactly the same as it is, just neat, much neater.
And out the back, you've got a really big back garden. Mosen, are you going to get involved in that?
Yeah, I think he wants me to get involved in the back garden, do a lot of grass cutting, get some waste out.
Yeah, I've got a gardener.
Okay,
I've got a gardener.
Any good with a lawnmower, getting it all chopped down?
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of hassle, but it has to get done. Has to be done.
So, okay, new bathroom, new kitchen, all those things you want to try and do on the shower downstairs. There's a fair bit of work that you've got to do.
Oh, yeah.
So, Ismat, what is your budget?
Between 5 to 7.
Between 5 to 7 grand?
7 grand.
And
that's not my labour, just the material, because I'm going to be doing the work.
Okay, and how long is this job going to take you to do?
About, say... I like to finish it in 2 months, but I said it depends how busy my own work is, so I put the customer first. So about between 2 to 3 months.
With your help of your son, I think you'll be okay.
I'll be all right, yeah.
Without him, I think you'll struggle.
Yes, definitely. If he's going to jump over full time, then what I'll do, there you go. I can finish it in 2 months, definitely.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. Ismat, good luck.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mosen, good luck to you.
Thank you.
I think Mosen will learn a lot from his dad on this project. First and foremost, make sure you read the legal pack and view the property. Saying that, I think they might have got away with this one. You can find out how they get on later in the programme.
Well, we've found out the fate of one of our buyers. What about the other two?
Has everything run like clockwork, or has the clock stopped ticking?
Yes, well, we're not going to give them any more time. Let's find out how they got on.
It was in the southwest London area of Wandsworth where Lucy tracked down a 2-bedroom ground floor flat. Despite its eye-watering guide price of £300,000 plus, actually for this part of London, not only could it be a good buy, but there was still room for improvement.
Now, the only structural change I think I'd make with this flat would be to open up this doorway. It just feels a little bit pinched. It would make the kitchen feel so much larger and also be a lot more sociable for when you're entertaining.
And the people who felt that there was more growth to come were father and son team Farouk and Ibrahim, who paid £375,000 at auction. This was a new departure for them both.
I just recently graduated from uni doing product design. We've always had a keen interest in properties, and it's also working with my dad as well.
Do you have any property knowledge yourself?
Well, I'm a retired chartered civil engineer with a few projects, worked on Terminal 5 construction for 4.5 years.
So buildings is something you know about?
That's correct.
So the plan was that Farouk would offer guidance and help Ibrahim to get his fledgling property career off the ground. And they had a budget of up to £35,000 and hoped to complete it ready for the resale market in 3 months. And now, nearly 7 months later, we're back. Right, talk about curb appeal. This place has now got it in spades. With a sheltered garden area and well-defined parking space. And let's hope that this is a sign of what's to come. Wow, this is really the way to make the most of the space they had. Seems they took your advice, Lucy.
Basically, we used to have a wall here, so we've taken the wall away and we've created that open living space. We've had to refurbish the whole kitchen, so we've added the new units, new worktops, new appliances. We've also added a toughened glass splashback to give that contemporary modern look. And most importantly, those key lime green walls are not there anymore.
That rather chic and crisp style is in evidence in the bedrooms. But what about in the bathroom? Great job. So who deserves the pat on the back?
Dad was over my shoulder, just guiding me, just in case anything went wrong or anything like that. But majority of the work was 50-50. We both did it together.
They did have tradesmen in where needed, and other family members helped too. With guidance from Farouk, Ibrahim tackled the flooring and tiling. How did the partnership work out?
Well, we did have ups and downs as expected, but on the whole, it went on smoothly.
We're definitely going to keep in touch, basically.
Well, that's good to know, Ibrahim. But are there any thoughts of going it alone then?
Solo, I'm riding solo, solo.
I think I'll probably do a couple more and watch over the builders and how they do it and get some hands-on experience and then take it from there.
Sounds like a sensible plan. And you can certainly see Ibrahim's design skills already coming to the fore with the look and feel of this place. But it was down to Farouk to keep their £35,000 budget in check.
We've exceeded that amount up to about 40,000.
I think the biggest cost was the front garden, but it added to the curb appeal. So naturally, as soon as you look at the property, you want to come and take a look at it, and hopefully it will sell quicker, so it will pay off in the end.
Ibrahim could be right, but a £40,000 spend on top of their £375,000 purchase price does mean that they have £415,000 invested in this two-bedroom ground floor flat. So the curb appeal might bring house hunters in, but will the design and look of the flat convince them to buy? What do two local property experts think? First, the agent who saw it last time.
I saw this property 7 months ago and it was a real shambles. One of the biggest changes has been the open plan kitchen. A lot of people love that now. It's a very communal area and it lets a lot more light in as well, and I think they've done it very well. And the layout of the kitchen is also very good because what you see is quite an attractive sort of vista as you walk in.
I really like it actually. I wasn't expecting such a high finish. I love the colour of the flooring. I love the fact it's semi-open plan. And I think most of all, the location's absolutely outstanding.
One of the great things of the outside was that they had off-street parking, but they also had a barren land around it. And they've really made the most of it, and they've fenced it off, made it a bit more private, a bit of grass, a bit of patio. So I think it's going to be a very usable space, even though it's facing the road.
I think the finish is exactly it's kind of trendy at the moment, where it's modern without being ultra-modern. And I certainly don't think anyone's going to walk through the door and dislike it.
Yes, but how much money will they need to pay for a property that Farouk and Ibrahim have invested £415,000 into?
I think when the property is fully finished, it would go on the market at £525,000 and be very comfortable in the current market at that price.
If I was to put this on the market right now, I'd value it between £500,000 and £525,000.
It's slightly higher than we anticipated, but it is on par with what we were expecting to get.
So, should they sell it on as hoped, they could see a pre-tax profit of between £85,000 and £110,000. That's got to be encouraging enough for them to do more properties in the future.
Our aim is hopefully to get to a stage where we can build a house from scratch and design every single aspect of it. Well, that's my aim. I don't know about Dad's, but...
Yeah, well, hoping to continue for 2 more years until Ibrahim stands on his feet. You know, then I shall be drifting out.
And then, Ibrahim, you're on your own.
I'm riding solo, solo.
Time to head back to Wolverhampton, where I saw this semi-detached property. It may have been stuck in the past decor-wise, but what it did have going for it was overall size. Downstairs had the bonus of a small toilet, and there was plenty of room in the kitchen. There was also a lot more room outside. It is some size. I think just a bit of TLC out here, a bit of hard work, and this would be as good as the neighbours. I also wanted to have a look back at the property just to see if there's anything wrong with the tiles, the roof, anything like that. All I've spotted is a little bit of rendering that needs to be either patched up or you could restart it and do it again. Buying this at auction for 81 grand was plumber and heating engineer Ismat, who should perhaps listen to his son Mohsen just a little bit more when buying properties in the future. Did you read the legal pack?
No.
Did you view the property?
No.
So you just bought this blind?
Just bought it blind.
Really?
Yeah.
You got to have a word with him, Mohsen.
Yeah, well...
You're not allowed to do that anymore.
Nah, you should read the legal pack.
There you go, you see that?
Don't raise your hand.
So you got lucky? He's a lucky man, honestly, isn't he? Isn't he just? Well, you may have heard of the saying, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And Ismat was planning to work hard and do most of the work himself. But how lucky was Ismat going to be?
But I'm a lucky man with fire in my hands.
Well, if a lot of hard work makes you lucky, then here's the proof. The kitchen is so much better. The little downstairs toilet has seen some big changes, with a full-size shower where the cupboard used to be. The sealed-up doorway has been opened up and offers a different way to make an entrance. The huge brick fireplace has been replaced with a small one, so much better. Upstairs, the bathroom is also looking much smarter. The one thing I am sad to see go, though, is the fireplaces in the bedrooms. But I'm very impressed with the changes outside. To the front, the wall has been rebuilt and widened so it's easier for cars to park. The exterior has also been re-rendered, but the back garden was really where the hard work started. It took 4 skips and a lot of elbow grease from Mohsen to get rid of everything in this garden, which now has plenty of space for Ismat and his kids to have a kickabout. Good save, young man. Now Ismat is finished, how did he find tackling the work here whilst working for his clients?
Well, the good thing is I had the work in Coventry, so I finished that, and after that, the luck was on our side, but my work was slightly slow, and then it just gave me enough time to carry on with this project. Most of the work's done by myself, apart from plastering and some of the electrics, and I've carried on with the rest, central heating, with up and down the house, decorating, plus thank you to my wife for painting.
OK, so Ismat managed to get his wife Seaman involved as well, but what was his son Mohsen's contribution?
I did designing, painting, mainly helping my dad doing some of the central heating, which I'm not qualified, but I just gave him a hand.
We had a bit of arguing during I know, I've told him I'm not a very easy person to work with, you know what I mean? I says, can you bring some elbow? And instead of elbow, he was bringing teeth and things like that. Spanner, this size spanner, he was getting the wrong one, and I was making me angry. I said, come on, man, yeah, start learning.
Sometimes very easy, sometimes very hard, but you can...
Especially when I'm tired.
Yeah, but you can get along with him when you're used to him.
So Ismat is a bit of a taskmaster, is he? That will explain how they got the work done in his timescale of 2 to 3 months.
We finally managed to finish and complete the project exactly in 2 months. So we bought the property in my birthday and we finished it between my birthday and his exactly 2 months the gap.
So mine's special because it's a finishing touch best.
No, I'm special because I had it on my birthday. I'm only joking, he is my special.
Oh, it's great to see these two getting on after months of work together here. Now, what would really be special is if they managed to do the work within the planned 5 to 7 grand budget. But since Ismat wanted to do the work to the best finish possible, he has actually spent £10,860. Ismat wasn't sure if he was going to sell or rent when we last saw him, so has he made his mind up yet?
Well, currently it's agreed to go on rent to a person I know, and we'll stick to him. And at the meantime, I'll still decide. Maybe if I have a good offer, I'll just go and sell it.
Well, let's see if we can make things a little clearer for him. We've asked along 2 local estate agents to give us their opinions on the finished house.
Last time I came, a couple of months ago, they've undergone a modernisation programme that's turned the property into a rather lovely house. Now, it looks the bee's knees. All of the rooms are now painted white, which is a good neutral colour for people to put their own stamp on when they move in.
The main benefits here are 3 really good-sized bedrooms, a nice fitted kitchen and a good-sized living room. There's also a great garden at the rear, and big plus, a downstairs toilet, which is always very, very handy for people.
All very positive, but will the agent's valuations help steer Ismat on whether renting in the meantime is the best option? He has already agreed to rent the property out for £580 per calendar month. That's a yield of 7%, and both agents thought that was about right. But could selling it offer him a quick profit on his investment, which is just under 92 grand?
If we were to put this property up for sale, I would recommend an asking price of £115,000 to £120,000.
So I would envisage him selling in the region of £115,000, although I think I would probably be inclined to try for a little more, and he may have to come down.
120 would be all right. 115 is a bit low because, to be honest, the way I've done it, it's got to go to 120.
Nothing wrong with having pride in your work. So what's next for Ismat?
I'll have a short break and to look after my customers, and then let me see if I decided to sell, then I'll go for the next one.
Mohsen, you won't let Dad do the next venture on his own, will you?
Of course. Without me, it's going to be hard for him.
Oh. Very good, yeah. He's my main man, he is.
Well, property auctions happen up and down the country all year round.
With so many stories to tell, we never stop either.
Yeah, so join us next time for more Homes Under the Hammer. Goodbye.
Goodbye.